Feels great to be back in the world of Billie Eilish. If you've been with me since the beginning, you know that I started off doing quite a few Billie Eilish songs in the first few weeks of my reacting, and now here I am coming up on 3 months of doing this really intensely. I'm now coming back to Billie Eilish, and it really feels good to be back. This has been a fascinating journey for me, reacting and doing these vocal breakdowns. You all have helped me so much in the comments with how you want me to go about doing this, the songs that you'd like me to react to, things like that. I can't thank you enough. This has been so fun. We just crossed 10,000 subscribers a couple days ago. There's some things coming up. Keep an eye on the community tab. I'm posting a lot of information on next steps for our community over there. I'm getting so many requests throughout the week that it's impossible for me to even do a fraction of the songs that you all are requesting. So I'm looking for some better ways for us to organize our conversations. I want to create a bit more community. I'd like to have some options for those of you that are fans of an artist who are also subscribers of mine to be able to connect with other subscribers of mine so you can talk about what songs you think would be the best for me to react to next from your favorite artists. I feel like I'm having 14,000 one-on-one conversations all the time right now, and I want to get us together. So stay tuned into the community page. I have some ideas about how I'm going to break all of that stuff out, okay? Without further ado, we're going to jump into the song. I'm going to listen through as much as I can, and then I'm going to bounce back and break down meticulously what I hear Billie Eilish doing in her singing and how it plays into whatever this song is about.
I wish you the best for the rest of your life. Felt sorry for you when I looked in your eyes, but I need to confess I told you a lie. I said you were the love of my life, the love of my life.
Oh.
Did I break your heart? Did I waste your time? Well, I tried to be there for you, then you tried to break mine. It isn't asking for love, for an apology, for making me feel like it'd kill you if I tried to leave. You said you'd never fall in love again because of me, then you moved on immediately. Bum, bum, bum. But I wish you the best for the rest of your life. Felt sorry for you when I looked in your eyes, but I need to confess I told you a lie when I said you were the love of my life, the love of my life. So you found her, now go fall in love, just like we were. If I ever was, it's not my fault. I did what I could. You made it so hard, like I knew you would. Whoa. Thought I was depressed or losing my mind. My stomach upset almost all of the time. But after I left, it was obvious why. Because for you, I was the love of your life. But you were not mine.
Oh, plot twist. Wow, what a clever, cool song. Okay, so first of all, what a cool little sort of tongue-in-cheek, separated from the emotion type of a song, but still kind of emotional anyway that this is. This has a lot of the underpinnings of the way that jazz standards are emotional. They're talking about something real in life that the protagonist has gone through, but there's a little bit of separation from it, almost a little bit of a levity in the commentary on whatever the subject is at hand. You find that all the time in jazz. And in this case, Billie is doing exactly that. I did a little poking around online just to see what the meaning of this song might be, and I know this is about ex-lovers and something about Jesse Rutherford. I'm not getting into all of that. I don't like it to get into the, the gossipy side of these songs, but I do like to get into what is the expressive context of the song and how does the vocal technique used play into expressing that thing. I love the background singers and the way they're working into this. I love the minimalism and the simplicity in the arrangement. It really showcases Billie Eilish's voice beautifully, as well as the text, lyrics, and what the song is about. All right, now we're going to go back and break down what's happening with Billie's voice and everything else that I hear that's going on.
I wish you the best for the rest of your life. Felt sorry for you when I looked in your eyes.
All right, here's what's going on in Billie's voice right here. She has a relatively high amount of adduction of her vocal folds, meaning she's got a lot of vocal fold closure as opposed to how she normally sings. Usually when she's singing, she has a lot of breathy airflowiness, which you have to get through opening your vocal folds slightly. Not here. She's got a relatively high amount of thickening, which means that sort of brassy, muscularized type of a tone. She's not pressing it very hard, though. We've got a little brass in the tone, right? In addition to that, she's got some of the rest of your life. She's got this really like sliding crooner thing going on, which is like a throwback to the jazz singers from the 40s, Tin Pan Alley singers. Lana Del Rey does that stuff too. I've spoken in the past about how I feel Lana and Billie are a bit of kindred spirits. There are lots of similarities in the way they're using their voices. Differences as well, though. Now, what Billie is also doing here is she's really accentuating her R's, if you notice. That's an interesting thing to do as a contemporary commercial music singer. It's rare to do that. One last thing she's doing, she's got a decent amount of natural vibrato at the ends of phrases as she's finishing the phrase. Again, this is a very jazz standardy type of a thing to do. Listen back for all of those things. The vocal fold closure, the thickening, the use of her R's, the way she's sliding in between things, and the use of her vibrato on the exit of the phrase. I know that's a lot.
I wish you the best for the rest of your life. Felt sorry for you when I looked in your eyes, but I...
Do you hear all those R's? Do you hear the sliding? Do you hear how her tone is brassy? Do you hear the little creaky door sounds in between certain syllables? Singing in this way has such swagger and confidence without needing to press or push your voice to do it.
Need to confess, I told you a lie.
Now, I've talked about how she's tilting her head back in other videos, and this is a technical thing that I do believe in as a vocal instructor. I know that there's some controversy in the world of voice pedagogy about tilting your head back and things like that, but I 100% believe there is a logical reason to do it to some degree. Now, does she need to tilt back as far as she's tilting back here? Probably not. But is it giving some effect for her? Yes. Whenever you get up into the upper register of your chest voice, your larynx is coming up in your throat as you ascend in pitch. This is a natural function of the contemporary commercial music voice. But when that happens, the tongue is also attached to the larynx. So as the larynx elevates, so does the tongue. As the tongue elevates, it gets closer to the roof of your mouth. As the tongue gets closer to the roof of your mouth, it can have the tendency to cut off your oral cavity, your mouth, as one of your resonators. So what do? You tilt your head back to get some distance between the roof of your mouth and the top of your tongue, which prolongs for a little bit longer in pitch, an ability to resonate your oral cavity a little bit more, which keeps giving you the access to be able to access your chest voice or your belt voice or bring your speaking voice sound a little bit higher. I know that's complicated technical things, but that's why you need to tilt your head back to some degree when you're belting. Now, I think she's overdoing it a little bit here, overcompensating. It's not affecting her tone per se, but she could use maybe doing it a little bit less.
I said you You were the love of my life.
These background singers are wonderful. Notice how tastefully their sound is mixed into the track. There's an airflow in the tone. They're in a light mix. They're very blended together nicely. They're creating this nice padding effect in the background around Billie's voice, this sort of soft texture against her a little bit brassier texture in her voice right here. What a beautiful contrast. I love the arrangement. I love the simplicity of the guitar and the bass. It's so cool.
The love of my life. Did I break your heart?
I love how understated the song is. Remember what I was talking about, how there's a little bit of this emotional separation from the song, meaning that the song is sung from a protagonist who's already processed the emotions a bit. So she's not wearing her heart on her sleeve here. There's a little bit more of a witty conversation happening here about what happened.
Did I waste your time?
Do you hear her use of grit there at the starts of those phrases and in the middle? Check that out. Listen to how she's using her grit. Did I waste your... I love the way Billie uses grit.
Did I waste your time?
Right there. On time.
Well, I tried to be there for you. Then you tried to break mine.
Now, another thing she's doing which is interesting here. Jazz singers will chew through diphthongs more so than pop singers. For instance, like the word time. They'll go from the ah vowel sound to the e vowel sound of time in a real flowy, mushy way. Pop singers don't usually do that when they're being poppy, unless you mean to do it because of a stylistic affectation like Billie is doing right here. This is a very crooner throwback jazz thing to do. Listen to how she's gliding through those diphthongs in her syllables.
There for you. Then you tried to break mine. It isn't
Hear the diphthongs?
for love, for an apology.
Oh, I love that.
Making me feel like it'd kill you if I tried to leave.
I love the rhythm of the words here. I have to go back and hear that again. That's so good. I love this part here.
Asking for love, for an apology.
So good.
For making me feel like it'd kill you if I tried to leave.
I love the rhythm of the words here. Da, 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 da. It's so catchy. Oh, ooh, goosebumpy catchy. I love this. The song is so sophisticated. This is like the maturity level of this is crazy. This is written by someone that feels like a 30-year seasoned musician who's just making a sophisticated little clever love song. How is Billie doing this? What is she going to be like when she's 20, 30 years later down the road? Like, how much more sophisticated is she going to get? Where's she going to go? It's just so cool.
You said you'd never fall in love again because of me. Then you moved on immediately. Bum, bum, bum.
Oh, that part is so good. Bum, bum, bum. You know, that's such a funny little... See, again, clever, clever, clever. That's such a funny little thing to write in. How many times do we do that in our lives when we're like, uh-oh, plot twist, bum, 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 you know? And she does it in such a clever way. You see this little giggle. She breaks character almost for a second, makes a commentary on it, laughs, bum, bum, bum. So tasteful, so elegant, so in the moment, perfect. That is such a great artistic thing to do. Gave me goosebumps. It was so good. Let's listen back to that thing one more time. I loved it.
Because of me, then you moved on immediately. Bum, bum, bum. But I wish you the best for the rest of your life.
Now we're into the groove.
Sorry for you when I looked in your eyes.
Oh, I can't wait to get to some of Phineas's solo stuff. Some of you mentioned in the comments that you want to hear me get to that. I want to as well. I can't wait to hear what things he does just on his own separately. I love his collaborations with Billie. I'm such a huge Phineas fan. His production blows my mind. I'm excited to get over to some of their older stuff too. Even though I've heard some of it already, I still want to listen through and comment on what I'm hearing. And like the song Ilo Milo, if that's how you say it. I love that song. That song blows my mind. His production on that song blows my mind. I love how he's being sophisticated and understated in the arrangements that he's doing with Billie on this newer stuff. He's so good at making the appropriate arrangement for whatever the expression of the song requires, and I so respect him for that. As well as Billie with her vocals, she's so good at making the appropriate vocal sound for whatever the expression is calling for. So cool. I love how this song switched into this nice breezy groove here.
But I need to confess, I told you a lie when I said to you.
She's using so much more chest voice so much more regularly in her music, and I love it. She sings great. I love that she's stepping into her own. She's getting more and more confident in her singing. I think this Amazon performance thing she did, also with the Wildflower performance, which I reacted to already, she's going to a next level in her singing and artistry. Absolutely. This is such sophisticated singing.
You were the love of my life.
Love that riff there.
The love of my life. So you found her. Now go fall in love, just like we were.
Oh, did you hear the tone of that background singer, the one in the red? Go fall. Oh, I love that. She had this little soulful vibe in her voice. That was cool. Check that out. Listen to that again.
So you found her. Now go fall in love, just like we
Oh, I love that.
were. If I ever was, it's not my fault.
Who are these background singers? Anyone know their names? I'd love to know who they are. I love celebrating background singers. This is one of my little things I've noticed doing on the channel. I love when artists do performances where they bring background singers in and let them be a little bit more a part of the thing. I love this idea that a rising tide lifts all boats, that background singers get a little bump in there and they get to show some of their gifts. This is great. There's some talented singers here in this performance.
I did what I could. You made it so hard, like I knew you would.
Notice how Billie, when she goes up and does that little head voice sound there at the end, she's chesty and I knew you would. And she goes up to that top note and she releases into her head voice, but she does it in a way that has a little bit of that hissiness in her tone. This is one of the most important things for you singers out there who do stylistic diversity in your singing. If you're a musical theater singer and you're also singing pop, you've got to figure out how to, when you go up into your head voice, keep a little bit of air release in the tone for your pop stuff. It gives it that pop rock edge. In the world of voice pedagogy, they call that sound auditory roughness. It's super important to do it. Listen to how Billie has that hissiness in her head voice as she flips up here, as she decays and releases the note.
Like I knew you would.
Do you hear that air in there? So good.
Well, thought I was depressed.
Notice how chill her pronunciation is here. Notice how she's not over enunciating now. In the beginning of the song, she had a little bit of this throwback hyper pronunciation things that you might hear from a throwback jazz singer like Billie Holiday, Sarah Vaughan. But now here, it's much more in her minimal micro mouth style, conversational, not pronouncing very much. Listen to how that's different here.
Well, thought I was depressed or losing my mind. My stomach upset almost all of the time.
Oh, her little grit, that little creaky door stuff she's doing is so tasteful, so well done.
But after I left, it was obvious why. Because
Did you hear that hissy, scratchy air sound when she went up? You've got to have that in your sound.
obvious why.
Hear that?
Because for you, you, I was the love of your
Goosebumps.
life. But you were not mine.
That little twist at the end is so clever. I love that little twist. The song starts off with like, you're the love of my life and I lost you or something, or we're not together anymore. And then now we're in a place where it's, I was the love of your life after all, and you weren't the love of mine. Like, what a cool concept. Every time I listen to Billie, every time I react to her, I get deeper and deeper into the fan club. She is just such a compelling artist. What a joy it is for us to get to experience this brilliant artist and watching her evolve and grow in such a beautiful, mature way. Sometimes artists go in kind of crazy ways as they're growing and evolving, and Billie is doing it in such a beautiful, tasteful, artistic, just it just makes you want to love her more and more the way that she's growing as an artist. She's just taking us on a journey, literally taking us on this incredible musical journey, and we're all so blessed to get to experience it with her. So thanks for the recommendation to listen to this. This was a real fun one. I'm looking forward to doing more of her work, of course, and don't hesitate to reach out and recommend some things that you'd like me to react to. Also, stay tuned with the community tab. I'm going to be posting real soon. So I'm going to create some new opportunities for us to have community on some other platforms, because it's just becoming too much here in the comments and on the community tab, which is just not working so well for all of the conversations we're trying to have. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to have some new fun ways for us to talk real soon, but I'm grateful to be here with you all. This has been really exciting for me to be doing these reactions. I'm going to be doing this for a long time, so make sure you subscribe and click the notification to stay up to date on my latest stuff. See you in the next video.